Thanks for the support as a channel member, Vicky Davis. Just a quick announcement regarding the schedule for this series going forward, or at least for the next couple of weeks. A few people have already been asking what we're going to be doing. We'll sort out a proper permanent schedule for both series once we get into the new year. But for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be in the Christmas schedule, which if you've been around for the last couple of years, you should be familiar with, where basically we rotate back and forth between the two series every day. So 4 p.m. every day. It'll be Non-League to Legend one day, Bourne the next. Starting tomorrow with Non-League to Legend at 4 p.m. Then Sunday it'll be Bourne at 4 p.m. 4 p.m.? Bourne at Fawn. We need to change the name of that number. But Bourne at 4 p.m. on Sunday, and then Non-League to Legend again on Monday, Bourne on Tuesday, etc., etc. And then we'll do that for a couple of weeks. Once we get into the new year, we'll figure out what we're going to do long term. So yeah, that's what's happening. You see, I didn't ask for likes because you got to 5,000 on episode 1. Man on my word and all that. This doesn't count. Hello and welcome to part 5 of the Bourne Legacy. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 matches for you. First is a top of the table clash against, someone told me how to pronounce this in the comments and I've already forgotten. Sileby, this lot, Rangers, Sileby Rangers. I don't know. I mean, let's face it, we're gonna not be in the same league as them anymore. We'll go up this year. They can stay down. We'll beat them today, push them back down into the herd, and then we never have to say it again. We're also away against Lutterworth. Since you were last with me, a couple of transfer developments. Most notable, JJ Milligan is going to be the first actual transfer out of the club. You can see we don't have any transfers at the moment. We've had a lot of players released. I can't believe he was the first. The players released list continues to get longer, and there are names you'll recognise getting released. Players basically get released as soon as they start moaning about not getting game time, or if they get a proper injury. So you'll see most recently David Collis, who started the season as our captain, has now been released because he had a little bit of a moan that he hadn't been getting game time for a little while. You can see he's fallen on his feet, already ended up at Fakenham, but he hadn't played for us for a little while, had a little moan about it. So you know what, just release him. We've got other right backs. We don't need to keep him around. But Milligan is going to be going to play for Cobb Ramblers in the Electricity First Division, which there you go, the Irish First Division. So yeah, he's going there. So we're going to be losing him. We have signed a couple more players though, as you would expect. I don't remember where we last got to. You saw Morris, Parr, Marsh. So I think these ones are the most recent ones. Thomas Dolby. We've gone young and hungry again. Thomas Dolby, 20-year-old striker, who was previously at Port Vale. Dagri Mansunga, and 20-year-old who's midfielder, who's previously from Coventry. We signed a player on loan. Will Alderton is on loan for the rest of the season from AFC Mansfield, not to be confused with Mansfield Town. AFC Mansfield one level above us in the pyramid, but he's on loan until the end of the season. I actually was going to bring him in permanently. I had him on trial. He looked like he'd be a decent signing, was going to offer him a non-contract, but then I thought, you know what, he's actually at another club, so let's just take him on loan. So I did, and in fact, that can't be true. Am I talking nonsense? I am talking nonsense. It was someone else I had that thought process with. This guy is actually on a part-time contract at £20 a week at Mansfield, so I couldn't bring him in permanently, despite having him in on trial. That's why we brought him in on loan. Talking absolute nonsense, Kev. And then Matt Bevans was the last one, who he came in as a direct response to Collis leaving. 26-year-old right back, hasn't played for us yet, probably never will probably get released. But we are keeping a very small squad. If we get rid of the under-23s and the under-18s from it, you can see we've got a few players in on loan again, but really Milligan's on his way out. So the only actual full-time big boy grown-up player in the squad who's not in the matchday squad is Mansunga, who has played a couple of times. So we are keeping the squad very, very small. But this is the team that's going out there to face Sileby Rangers in the league. A win here, I know it's only December, but a win here, surely we can't mess up from here. This is our nearest rivals. We're already more than halfway through the season. We beat them, we go 9 points clear. things have got to start looking very, very good at that point. So we've got Winterton in goal, a back four of Bevan, Boardman, Francis and Parr, Shuka and Marsh in midfield, Byrne and Simmons as our wingers, Morris and Matter up front. It is starting to take on a bit of a settled team look. Certainly that front four you should be used to by now. This midfield has played together for a little while. In fact, the whole team is taking on quite a settled shape. It's just the sort of players on the fringes of it who keep coming and going. Melligan being an example of that. He was never a regular starter. He came in, played a few games, but was never sort of nailed on certainty in the team. Right, what are we going to say here? There you go. These are the one team that beat us, so we want to avenge. This is the first opportunity for revenge we've had at Bourne, because obviously we've only lost once, and it was to this lot, so we don't want to lose to them again. We need to get revenge for what happened last time. We are a much better team than we were last time as well. Morris really starting to get used to the partnership with Matter, getting much more involved, and that whole front four, very solid. The back four are all centre-backs, so they just literally 4 centre-backs who stand there and defend, which is a little bit different from our usual flying wing-back strategy. But you know what? I quite like it. Just 4 solid defenders and then let everyone else do the attacking. Matter with the looping header, and Matter's got his 28th goal of the season. It kind of came from nowhere. Big, deep cross from Shuka, who is now our captain, by the way. And big cross in from wide, and Matter just heads it into the back of the net. No worry, no question, no doubt. 28th goal now for Matter. There was a game fairly recently where he scored 4 times. I don't know what the record for goals in a season is at this level. I assume he's got to be close to breaking it, hasn't he? Certainly, bearing in mind he's on 28 goals at roughly halfway through the season. Let me know down in the comments what your most goals in a season from any player ever was. I think mine would have been one of the seasons with home last year. I forget, was Mick Powell the one, or did he ever? I think Anthony Harris got like 40 something goals in that first season. Did Powell get more than that in the second one? Answers on a postcard or down in the car. If you watch both my videos today, I've done that line twice. I don't know what's my obsession with postcards. I think it's because I'm recording this on the 20th of December and I've not had a single Christmas card yet. So the idea of cards is in my head. Now I don't go out and have a real job and meet real people. Nobody gets me a Christmas card anymore. It's very sad. Very, very sad. So I want someone to send me a postcard so I can at least pretend it's a Christmas card. Right. What was I saying? We're beating Sileby Rangers. Good. Guard against complacency. I'm almost tempted, because they are our nearest rivals, not geographically, but footballing wise, I am tempted, as we get a little bit deeper into the game, to sacrifice one of the strikers and actually drop back to having that holding midfielder for the first time in ages. But ideally, I'd like a second goal before we get to that point. Look at that penalty area scrap. Proper non-league stuff. It's wonderful to see. And luckily, we came out on the right side of it. How the ref could work out what was going on there, I don't know, because he looked like he was stood outside of the penalty area. Right, we are going to take off Simmons. Are we going to take off Simmons? We don't have a winger on the bench. I don't really want to bring Dolby on for Morris. In fact, you know what? I'm going to. He can come on for him, and I'm going to bring Alderton on in midfield for him. And that can be our 2 changes for now. And the 1-0 up, I never know what team talk to give, so I'm not going to give one. Simple enough. If in doubt, say nothing. If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's not true. I often say really horrible things to my players. Dolby now beats. Oh my word! Sometimes we criticise Matter not understanding the offside rule, but Dolby doesn't understand how you score goals in football, I don't think, which is a worry for a striker. Right, final change. We're going to take Bevan off, bring Koo on at left back. It looks like we're not going to get the opportunity to drop back to our more defensive system, because we're not beating them comprehensively enough for me to be confident doing it. Simmons now in wide areas, loses out on the ball, and now it's a chance for Sileby Rangers to come at us again. But we've actually won the ball back. Shuka spraying it out wide to Byrne. Byrne has Bevan there supporting him. In fact, it's Koo. Bevan's gone off, hasn't he? Silly Kev. Byrne's in again, though. Byrne squares it to Matter, and that's something you don't see very often, a Matter shot that's actually saved. We we had the opportunity to go 2-0 up there, and I do hope we don't go and regret not taking it. Bourne trying to kick the ball forward but can't make it past a Sileby Rangers player. Dolby plays it to Simmons, sort of, but it does make it to him. Simmons, once again, can't get the cross in, though. This lot are definitely putting up more of a fight than anyone we've played in a long time. They are the only team in this division, I think, who are close to as good as we are, but they don't have a Mata. But that being said, Mata's in again there, and once again, they've adequately defended against him. And I'm not comfortable at 1-0 up. I want a second goal. Parr with the throw, finds Simmons. This time he does get the cross in, but there is nobody ready to get on the end of it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Shuka now with another free kick. We scored from the last one of these. This time it doesn't go anywhere near a Bourne shirt, and Sileby Rangers do have the chance to break, and we need to get a tackle in here. They've charged past our player, but luckily it's the tamest shot in the history of the world, so we do just get away with it. There's like 30 seconds left. We have managed to pick up the win. I think we did get away with it a little bit. We do need to be a little bit more clinical. I've just noticed this game against Lutterworth is in the League Cup. Do we want to see a League Cup game? I think I'm going to play that one offline, and we'll come back for Wellingborough Whitworth in the next league match, because the League Cup, I'm not interested really. Well, it's just as well I don't care about it, because we got ourselves knocked out of it. Mata had 3 disallowed goals in that game for offside. Again, we need to teach that boy how to stay onside. I mean, I can't be too harsh on him. He's scored nearly 30 goals this season already. For 28 goals from 27 starts in all competitions. But that could be 40 goals if he just stayed onside, because he has so many disallowed. In other news, we've just signed Ronaldo on trial, purely because his name was Ronaldo, and I thought it might be a good way to put Ronaldo in the title of the video. Do I need any other reason than that? We can't sign him on an actual permanent deal because he wants £210 per appearance, but he is scoring goals a division above us as well. So I think, again, that's a good example of why we probably can't get him permanently. But this is the team we're putting out there for the Whitworths game. I think it's changed a little bit from the last game you saw. It's certainly changed a little bit from the last match we played in. We had Shuka on the wing in the last game, but we've brought Bourne back in to go up there. Shuka dropping down to the bench because he's an old man and played like 300 minutes of football in the last week. Mansunga comes into midfield alongside Marsh. But other than that, I've already said we're on a tiny squad, even though they're tired, having played a lot of football this week. We just need to play them because we don't have anybody else. We don't have the luxury of being able to do loads of rotation deliberately because we can't afford the squad that we've got. I'm already way over my wage budget. There you go. We're favourites for this for a reason. Hopefully we can get back to winning ways, because beating Sileby Rangers is all well and good, but if we then go and lose to a team like Whitworths, who are down in 10th place in the league, if we go and lose to them, then what was the point of beating the other lot? This lot being called Whitworths, does that mean they're the people who make like the popcorn stuff? That's Whitworths, isn't it? What do Whitworths make? Because it's Wellingborough Whitworths, I think they're called. So presumably they're based in Wellingborough, and it's the company called Whitworths. I think they make popcorn kernels and probably some other stuff too, but the only thing I've ever seen in my house with Whitworths written on it, I'm pretty sure, was popcorn. I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comments. We're 1-0 up, by the way. Mata obviously scoring as usual. We're looking for a second there. Mata can't quite get the header goalwards, but ends up with the ball and getting the cross in anyway. It bobbles around a little bit in the area, but to no effect. We've just had a media report come through as well about Morris and how he's in a goal drought and hasn't scored for X amount of games. And I am starting to think, well, Morris is on a lot of money per appearance. He's one of our highest paid per appearance players. That was a lot of P's there. If we just have a little look at him, he is on £80 per appearance and doesn't score. Whereas Mata's probably getting paid more because of his goal bonus. We'll have a look at him after this highlight. But I am thinking, and it'll be the first time I've made a decision on this basis, but I'm thinking even though Morris has played every game he's been fit for since he's been here, I am thinking it might be approaching time to release him and go with a different option up front. There you go, Mata only getting £35 per appearance and a fiver a goal. We're definitely getting a lot more value out of Mata than we are out of Morris. So I'm thinking maybe release Morris and look to bring in another striker to go alongside Mata, or promote Dolby for a few games, give him a little run in the team, or go and find someone else like Ronaldo Pearson, who we can't afford. But it would be fun to have him around, because I'd like to have Ronaldo and Mata up front for Bourne in Tier 10. Just sign players based on them having the same name as famous footballers. I think that's probably a good transfer policy at this level. We're on the back foot a little bit here, and we need to get a tackle in, but we keep trying and keep giving the ball back almost immediately. Whitworths having some decent possession there. Mansunga, though, does win the ball back, plays it forward to Morris, and Morris, now knowing he's in fear of being released, hopefully he's going to do something splendid. Plays it into Simmons. Simmons has 2 attempts at the goal, but doesn't succeed with either of them, and it remains 1-0. So as it stands, still 9 points clear of Sileby Rangers. Blackstones, my old club, well behind them. So we are looking very good for promotion this season. I think it's a 38-game season, so we'll probably do 2 more episodes this season now. There'll be one right at the end of the season, and then one probably halfway between here and there. We don't need to string this season out to 10 episodes when it's pretty clear that unless something disastrously wrong happens, we're getting promoted. I don't want it to get boring. Right, we could be doing even better. I think that's a good team talk. Let's get into that second half. Having a little look down at the bench. I am tempted to give Dolby more and more game time. Get him on for Morris a little bit more. And if he starts to look like all he really needs to do is perform at the same level Morris is, because Dolby's on £20 per appearance. So Morris has to be 4 times the player Dolby is to justify his place in the team. And I just don't know that he is. We were already top of the league and scoring loads of goals, playing a 4-3-3 before we brought Morris in. So I don't think Morris has necessarily improved the team. But like I say, I'm pretty sure he's our highest paid player at the club, and just not justifying it. Right, we have a free kick on the edge of the area. Well back from the edge, but Bourne is going to be looking for Mata. They always do. He finds Francis, who gets his 4th goal of the season. He was looking for Mata. I maintain he was looking for Mata, but Liam Francis, goal number 4 of the season for him. Second for us today, 2-0 up on 53 minutes. And that should be that for today. We shouldn't be giving Whitworths the opportunity to force themselves back into the game at this point. Looking at those match stats, we've absolutely dominated things so far. And from this point on, I want Morris to do something. I want him to justify his wage, or else I am going to move him on. I'm talking myself into it. It was just an idea in the back of my head at the start of the episode, or not even at the start of the episode, at the start of this match, based on the last couple of games we've seen. But I'm getting more and more tempted the longer he goes without being the player that I hoped he would be. Now, it could just be that he's playing as a target man, which doesn't really suit him, and I should perhaps play him in a position that suits him better. But when the team is winning the way it is, I don't really want to fiddle with the shape of the team. Morris with an opportunity there. What does he want to be? I think he wants to be a pressing forward. We can't have 2 advanced forwards in the team. Or can we? Can we? At this level, maybe we can. Let's try them both playing as the advanced forward. We've got half an hour to see if they can play together as advanced forwards. I've never, ever done that in all my years of Football Manager. But Morris is having a very good game today, up to a 7.8 now. And there's Bourne. Bourne crosses over, looking for Morris, and Morris scores. He's been playing as an advanced forward for, 8 minutes, and has already got a goal. So perhaps we can play them both as advanced forwards, because someone was saying in the comments, how are we winning so many games when I'm constantly changing the team around? Surely they're not getting to know each other. Dynamics must be a mess. Yes, to all of that. But the thing is, because of Football Manager not really being built to be played at this level, because it being done via a mod, it's almost impossible as the player-controlled manager to not very quickly end up with a group of players who are far too good for the league that we're in. So we're not playing the most efficient way that we could. And it seems that tactics kind of doesn't matter, and dynamics kind of doesn't matter, and morale and motivation and all that kind of... None of that. All the stuff that we know is important in Football Manager, at this level with this group of players, doesn't really matter because we've got a load of players who would be good players 3 divisions above the one that we're in, whereas we're playing against teams that are set for this level. So we're just going to overpower teams with the quality of the individual players. And it's only to be expected. We talked about it a little bit with Home last year about how Football Manager is obviously set up for the leagues that are in the game from the start. The player ratings and the attributes are on a range from 1 to 20. And if you're in the National League North, you'll have quite a few players who have 1s and 2s for various attributes. And that's, 4 or 5 divisions above where we are now. So it stands to reason that you can't make the players at this level that much worse than them. So that's why you get in the situations where if you build a good team in this league, you'll probably win 4 promotions in a row because it's going to be a good team in all of those leagues. And I think that's the reason why dynamics isn't really mattering yet, and why it might work playing those two together in roles that, they're not going to play together. That's the thing. They're going to both effectively be playing as a lone striker, but there'll just be 2 of them if we do them like that. And it might work. It seemed to work in that game. A comfortable 3-0 win leaves us 9 points clear at the top of the league. And we continue to charge towards, hopefully, the first of many promotions. And we'll just have a little look at the schedule for the rest of the season, just to plan in where we're going to put these next couple of episodes. So, like I was saying, I think probably just 2 more episodes this season. So we'll end with Huntingdon and Melton. So we'll probably come back somewhere in here, around Birstall, Harrowby, St Andrews, that kind of area, somewhere in there, and then another episode there to finish things off, and then we'll hopefully be playing in the next division up next season. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.